Speaking of enforcing a win, last year may isang, for me, it's a spectacular win yung Supreme Court saying na void and illegal yung pag-take over ng diktador sa mga Paway properties. And it's a damning decision pag binasa mo, parang unconstitutional, parang bakit naman mapupunta sa mga Marcos, ang tieza naman ng gumastos, at yung mga land title na kinuha ng mga anak ni Senator Amy Marcos. So part of that decision says, actually, kahit may titulo sila, Borgie Manotoc, ganyan, pwedeng kunin yan ng OSG, but the OSG has to get the yes of the president, si BBM na nga yung president. So Marcos now has a new Solicitor General. Ano yung kailangan niyang gawin? Attorney Darlene Berbera, ano yung kailangan niyang gawin? And she has as my live case, yung Paway property, what does she need to do?
You know, when I was a law student, merong student political party sa UP Diliman that ran against the main parties. I think it was called the Independent Student Alliance. And it was a progressive party. No? Yung mga kandidato niya, anti-Marcos, were all for accountability, to hold the Marcoses accountable. And one of the candidates was Darlene Berberabe. So I was collegiate editor. She was a candidate there. And I know that she understands what happened during the dictatorship and what accountability is still owed by the Marcos family. And the office of the Solicitor General is not the office of the President of the Philippines. It's an office under the Republic of the Philippines. So perhaps one of the first things she should do is to test the power of that office to enforce judgments that the office won. And so this example is a good example of testing that. Because rescission of title yan and you don't even have to go through the lower courts to do it because you already have a Supreme Court decision saying so. And I don't see why that isn't just an easy case to win. It doesn't even involve the PCGG anymore. It's the Republic that has won and won back these assets, and the Republic that needs to have these assets returned to it.
I mean,
so she should use the easiest cases to prove her independence, and then tactically make sure that the person who appointed her understands that she does not represent him. She represents the country.
Well, are you surprised that the Marcoses didn't react to this win? Kasi, as I said, like, if you read it, it's pretty damning. Couldn't have they just returned these parcels of land? Or nasurpresa ka ba na wala silang, sige, babalik na namin for the benefit of the people?
It's hubris, no? Yung belief that nobody can hold you accountable. And so you have the Marcoses having that belief. You have the Dutertes having that belief. Kaya sila nag-aaway kasi parehong may hubris. No? Yung idea na walang makakapagpilit sa amin na madalagot kami. So it's not surprising because this is the same Amy Marcos, right? Who was found liable by the U.S. legal system to pay a person that her bodyguards and her extrajudicially killed. This was the same Amy Marcos who is involved in the $2 billion judgment in the Hawaii court, and her brother is the administrator of the estate that's supposed to pay. So, hindi lang sila walang pakialam, kundi harap-harapan, no? Harap-harapan sasabihin nila na hindi namin susundin ng batas. Kung dito mo makikita yung kaibahan ng yung principled opposition versus simply opposition for the sake of power. The Dutertes have never raised these questions against the Marcoses. You don't hear Sara Duterte or her brothers or her father say, oh, ang dami niyong nakaw na yaman, babawiin namin yan kung maging presidente kami. What did Rodrigo Duterte say? He said, oh, mayaman naman sila. So that is, in other words, just the Dutertes looking for power and not looking for accountability. The same with the Marcoses, right? So until this reality is seen by Filipino voters, and maybe they have, maybe they will, it's difficult to move the country forward.